Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a new set of tools here I wanted to go with you guys. I've been looking online at these for a while now, and these finally caught my attention enough that I pulled the trigger and purchased them. And this set here is actually the Aries, or Aries, however you guys want to say it. I don't have too many of these tools, so bear with me here. Three-piece, it's a 100-tooth swivel-head ratchet set. So, and what it includes, as you can tell here, is the quarter-inch drive, the small guy here, 3/8, and it goes all the way up to the half-inch drive. And so for swivels, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this kind of fills the whole gambit. Now, do I already have a swivels? I do have a various set, although I don't have the half-inch yet in that set over there. But there's several things about this set that kind of attracted me more than what I already have over here. And let's dive in. We'll talk about it. So before I pull this off, let's see if there's any other info here. Obviously, this set is made in Taiwan. And you know what, to be frank with you guys, I don't know of a roto head or a swivel head ratchet that is not made in Taiwan. So if you guys, I mean, there are some USA ones, but I mean, as far as Chinese made, I don't know of any that are made in China. So I think it's US and Taiwan are the only ones I know of. So let's dive in and let's see what we can find out about this set. Real quick too, limited lifetime warranty. I don't know how well Aries works with returns or even with repairs. So, you know, your mileage may vary when it comes to your returns. So let's take a look at this set. As you can tell, it's just a plastic cover on top. Underneath is a nice foam tray. Now, looking at this online, when I was looking at it on Amazon, it's a $59 set for all three of these. So pricing-wise, that is intriguing. But it also comes with this nice and beautiful, you know, two-layer. Obviously, you have this black layer up top, this softer layer underneath. It's a nice foam tray. So, and for me, and I don't know about you guys, as you start to develop your tool kind of chest, you know, initially organization such as this isn't as big of an issue. But for me, I do prefer to be able to stay more organized as I'm working with my tools. So this set is an attractive set. So, and then one of the things that's really unique to this set is the tooth count. We talked about it being a 100 tooth, which equates to, and we'll visualize it here for you guys, visualizes to a 3, oh, that's way too much, 3.5-degree arc swing. So very small movements. And traditionally, at least for the roto heads that I've had, you know, Carlisle, Pittsburgh, Craftsman, you name it, the challenge with them is the gearing is not like a traditional pawl, right, where it's down in this location here. The pawl is actually in the center. Maybe we'll dive in and take a look at how the pawl system's set up. But it runs on the outer edge. And traditionally, that tooth count is closer to 72, 80, maybe 90. So 100 teeth is nice because the challenge I have with these tools, actually, I'm going to give you a great example right here. It's this little stubby, and this quarter-inch drive, is the back drag. When you get into tight areas and you need to be able to, you know, have the minimal amount of back drag possible, it is difficult with, in my experience, a roto ratchet as opposed to a higher tooth count on, say, a flex head or a traditional ratchet. So as you look here, this is actually pretty clunky. Like, this takes a decent amount of effort. And when you're sitting there trying to bring it back and forth on a loosened nut up underneath the dash or wherever you're at, this is cumbersome. So not all of them are like this. Granted, this is an example I'm sharing with you guys. Some of them are better. This one's actually a little bit better, I think. Yeah, a little bit smoother. Tooth count's the same, but I think this one's just a little bit more worn in. So that's always been a challenge. So when it comes to 100 teeth on a roto ratchet, that's actually nice because when you feel this, I mean, it just wants to fall. It's buttery smooth, and it engages nice and tight and quick. So that in itself is a nice feat. Ooh, after this one, I don't think this one will This one actually kind of falls. That's pretty good. Almost as good. I want to say these ones are 72, maybe even 80 teeth. Don't quote me on that. So that's nice. So looking at the Aries set, I mean, we're taking a quick look here. I mean, the manufacturing, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if these are actually manufactured in the same facility, and all you do is Pittsburgh or Harbor Freight hires them out to put their own name on here. This actually is very similar to another manufacturer that's out there, minus the name, even the colors and shape. So Aries is a little bit different, obviously a little bit different handle. That molding is not pretty down inside there. There's actually quite a big gap, guys. Not loving that. And even the finishing is not that great. So, but yeah, very similar length. Aries is just a little bit longer, but overall nice ratchet. Now, one of the complaints that I have with this is really tight in the head. One of the complaints that I have with numerous Roto ratchets is the fact that these ones are not serviceable. Right, there is no way to get inside there and remove the anvil, and that's because they actually piece it together with this last pressed ball right here. They'll place that in, lock it in, and that locks it. So this is not serviceable. So once it's bad, you're done. Other manufacturers do make them serviceable. Like say for instance, Craftsman, you can actually unscrew that, pull this apart, replace it, grease it, what have you. What's nice about this setup is they actually have this ring, right? This retainer ring that goes all the way around, coils around it, and keeps it in place. As far as head stability, right, the anvil is actually quite tight, and that's pretty characteristic of these roto heads. They have traditionally nice firm anvils, and it's mostly because the pawl and everything is quite tightly placed inside here, and it has a consistent pressure. So nice setup. I mean, really nice. And for you guys that are maybe new to rotos, the main perk to these is obviously you're able to swivel the head, right? You're able to swivel multiple locations, rotate at multiple locations as you like. If you're in a tight spot, that's great. You also have flex heads that do the same thing too, but the flex head actually pivots lower down here on the neck. So as with the flex head, as you're trying to put it on something, it's wanting to push or fall off. And it's also depending on how tight that flex head is. It is harder to keep a flex head tight and within the correct specification over a long period of time, as opposed to a roto, because a roto has one screw right here that actually works with this fork system to tighten over the edges, and it keeps a very nice tight head. And you're able to loosen it, tighten it in small increments that make a larger impact over the head. So going back to the advantages of this, once again, you don't have the offset down here further down on the ratchet. You're directly over the center line of the socket and of the bolts or what have you that you're working on. You're physically in line with it. So this allows you to actually, once you get it loose, break it loose, treat it like it's a screwdriver or a ratcheting screwdriver. It's a very nice setup. And what's also nice is you're trying to place it on a fastener. I don't know if I got a fastener sitting here, but yeah, as you try to place it on there, it's not wanting to fold back on you, right? You come in on it, you can get on it easily and start ratcheting, right? Or if you're coming in and it's at a weird angle, it's easy to get that on there. It doesn't want to flop out of the way like another ratchet, right? So this is actually a great setup, guys, and I feel like I don't use these enough. So seeing this set is something that caught my attention, and I ended up purchasing it. So things I do like about it: 100 teeth. It is serviceable. The anvils are tight. I mean, let's check the inch or half inch, guys. Nice. I mean, selector is nice. It does have the quick release on top. Now, some of you guys may love it, may hate it. That is metallic. It is a nice big button. I mean, some of you guys might think, hey, you're losing out on strength because of that hole. There's actually been tests proven that it's very minimal strength that's lost by having it in there. So on a rotor ratchet, I don't tend to want to torque these too hard. It's more of your traditional bolts that are or fasteners that are within a pretty, medium tolerance. So not worried about the quick release. I actually, in this case, kind of like it. I mean, Carlisle's got it. Only one that doesn't currently have it is my Craftsman. So not a big deal. But as far as anvil tightness on this one, yeah, that's tight. I mean, there's very, very little movement. So great ratchet. So the part that I am noticing and that I do not like, well, there's two parts. And it's actually, yeah, it's pretty blatant. Well, first and foremost, let's take a look at the 3/8. Take a look down that. The handle isn't even put on correctly. It's actually crooked. And it's like it's an overmold, it's plastic, it's rubber. They say it's double injected TPR. It just feels really, really bad. It feels like the dollar store, like a screwdriver from the dollar store. It doesn't have much pliability to it. I'm actually damaging it just by running my fingernail across it. The Aries is a really light silk screen. Or that even seems like it might be coming off. I do not like this handle. I mean, the ergonomics of it aren't that bad, but it just feels really cheap, and there's some pretty bad fit and finish gaps going on inside it here. The other thing, and I already pulled off that retaining ring on this one, but the other thing that's, I mean, I just do not like, if you look closely here, and this is what I thought when I purchased online, that this was actually metal, but this is completely plastic. You could probably hear it. Actually, let's take it off. I'll even show you guys. I already removed it. So here's the pawl setup. But take a look, guys. That's just plastic, guys. This is all chrome. It looks like it's chrome vanadium. Yeah, chrome vanadium steel, which is nice. This is a good part right here. It just blows my mind. This is great. They did a great job here. The pawl, a nice clean pawl, great teeth. Like everything's well, but then you cross this line and go up. And guys, it's plastic. I just everything else about this wrench I could deal with. Even that crappy handle, I'd probably remove it and put another handle on it. But guys, this plastic piece, you literally would have this tool, throw it on the ground, start scratching this up, or you'd even completely break it by hitting it on the ground. Or some of you guys like me, you leave your tools in places where it's hot, right out in the sun. Like, this is not a good plastic. This will melt. So I am, yeah, I don't know what to say. Everything else about this ratchet I could deal with. I like. The two things I don't like, the terrible handle, and this is the worst part, is the plastic that goes into the head, right? The anvil. I mean, yeah, that's just such a letdown. Now, as you guys see, I'll give you a quick rundown on how rotos work. If you look inside here, right, the outer circumference or inner circumference of the roto head is where the pawl runs. In one direction, it just slides across it and doesn't grip. But then when you put torque on it, it pulls it back across, and that part right here engages into the wall, physically into the wall. And so, for really hard torquing fasteners, a Roto is not your best bet. Although these are, I mean, you'd be surprised how stout these are. But you're essentially trying to pull this apart in the process. And I think a traditional ratchet would do a better job on some really hard fasteners. But for everything else, this is great. So you want to see if, as we change directions, what happens to the pawl. So you just slid over that direction, slide it back, there it goes. So as you turn it, it goes left to right. So really a ingenious, simple mechanism that works great. And slide my pawl back over. Makes for a great ratchet. I mean, it's got 100 teeth, guys. It has so much going for it, but I'm sad to say I will be returning this because I thought I was getting a quality product. Right? If you're looking at the Pittsburghs here, like you can see the metal. That's clearly metal. I mean, it's not the best. I don't know if it's like a semi-pop metal or cast iron maybe. But I've had these for years. They hold up. They do great. It just blows my mind. Right? Even the Carlisle. I love the Carlisle actually because its head is actually really nice, thick steel. Right. So, and we could dive into these other ones later. But I wanted to touch base with you guys, kind of let you know what I saw here, what I liked, what I didn't like. You know, there's so much potential. I would like to see Aries, or if you're watching this, fix that flaw. You've taken a beautiful setup. You've taken all the time to put it in a case such as this foam case, and you've taken that time to make it 100 teeth. Also, that I don't know if you guys noticed, this is the part that kind of got me upset, is there is absolutely no grease in this. So what's the deal, guys? This is not going to last if you don't put grease in it. Like, it's completely dry. I don't know the last time I opened up a ratchet and there's been absolutely no grease in it. So, and I imagine the other ones are going to be exactly the same once I crack them open. So, Aries, you started off with something good. It went the right direction. Please fix this and fix this. After that, you have yourself a great ratchet, and I would be happy to buy the set. But as it stands right now, the good is outweighed by the poor quality that's put into these heads and into the handles. And I don't know why when I open this package up, it smells like a Nike shoebox. So it smells terrible. So guys, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your comments. Have you guys picked this set up yet? And please like and subscribe because it helps me to get some more motivation to put out these videos for you guys. All right, we'll see ya.